Welcome to Improv for the Podcast. On this week's episode, we're joined by Jonathan Mangum and Matthew Moore. And on tonight's episode, we'll hear all about Jonathan's improvisational journey, we'll play a couple games, and most importantly, learn how he improv'd his life. Let's hit it! Welcome to Improv for the Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Lee Evans, and tonight I'm joined by two very special guests. The first, the incredibly talented man of social media skill, incredible improviser, and Florida man, Jonathan Mangum.
Wait, Florida man?
Florida man.
Where did that come from?
Florida man.
Oh, no.
Aren't you from Alabama?
I am.
Okay.
There was a few years spent in Florida.
I was some years in Florida, yes.
Oh.
Alleged Florida man, Jonathan Mangum.
Yes.
And our second guest, you may know him as the wearer of many hats, both literally and figuratively. The father of IFTP, Matthew Moore.
That's all I get. And that's enough. I'm proud of that.
Oh, he does improv sometimes, too.
I'm proud of that.
Is he here to babysit me? Is that why he's here? To make sure I don't say any wrong speak about improv?
No, that's not why I'm here at all.
Yeah.
Matt, he's on to us.
He's on to us. I'm your handler.
I knew it.
I'm your handler. Now, Michael, you didn't say I'm like the Indiana man.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
The Boilermaker himself.
That's it. Oh, you did your homework.
Matthew Moore. Well, Purdue, right?
I'm a Purdue grad.
Purdue.
Yeah, I'm a Purdue person.
You went to college, really?
I went to college, yeah.
You took classes there?
No, I worked at the bookstore.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, it was the...
I thought you got lost and stepped onto the campus once.
Yeah, no, I was lost and they said now hiring, so I worked at the bookstore for 4 years.
Yeah.
I went to Purdue University. I'm a graduate.
Wow.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to several different colleges. I went to Valencia Community College.
Okay.
I went to Louisiana State University.
You did?
Yeah.
LSU.
I didn't know that.
Go
1 year.
Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers.
Oh, you're a big
They
sports-
spell it Geaux. Go Tigers.
Yeah, go.
And the University of Central Florida is where I ultimately got a degree. But
Okay, I don't want to usurp Michael's role here, but what did you get a degree in at Central Florida?
Psychology.
You did?
Yes,
I did not know that.
Yeah, interesting that you would ask that question.
What does it mean that
What's behind that, Jonathan?
I have a degree in hotel management.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you like? Hey, there's 30
Careful.
open rooms. There's 28 people. How do you fit them in kind of classes?
What's your next question? Michael? Yeah, I paid a lot of money to learn how to do that.
All right, I got to ask, what's turn down service, man?
Well, turn down service is a nightly service that some high-end hotels offer, where housekeeping will go in when the guest is out and about, and they lower the lights. They might warm the room with a little music. They turn the sheets down, so it's very welcoming when the guests come back after their evening. They clean the toilet. They refresh the linens and the towels, and they might put new soap in, draw the drapes, and there you go.
Nice. Do they turn on the Bose?
They use
iPhone
Remember
player
that?
thing? Yes.
That's still around though, right?
Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah, they do. But, some hotels are getting, well, this has nothing to do with anything for this podcast anyway, but some hotels take a little heat for turn down service now because it's a little environmentally unfriendly to do that.
Oh.
It's superfluous.
Right.
Yeah, okay, that's enough of that.
That's a big controversy.
Well, I don't know if it's a big controversy.
We might have to do a separate episode.
That's a whole other episode.
That's a whole podcast.
Yeah,
That's a whole-
the environmental
Turn down
impacts.
for what? It's called. Thank you.
What's it called?
Turn down for what?
Then there's theme song.
You haven't heard that song?
What, turn down for what?
Turn down for what?
Lil Jon, you know?
Yeah.
Now, you two are far more culturally aware than I will ever be. You know that about me. I don't know anything.
You don't know anything.
I don't.
He doesn't turn down.
For what?
Okay.
Who can say? All right. Thank you both for coming on the show. Just as we're getting started with our episode, Jonathan, if you could just give a brief introduction of yourself, your relationship to
Jonathan
improv.
Mangum,
Jonathan
6'2".
all 10 fingers. Great
So,
profile.
This is not an audition.
I'll be reading for. I'm not. It's not an audition.
No.
My name's Jonathan Mangum. I am from Alabama. I went to school in Florida. I started an improv group. I joined an improv group there with fellow improviser Wayne Brady.
Who's that?
He is a fellow improviser. We moved to Los Angeles in 1995. We did improv shows, and then Wayne got Whose Line, and then Wayne invited me to go on the road with him and invited me to do the game show in Whose Line with him. And that is 4 sentences for your consumption.
Beautiful. Thank you
nice.
so much. Well structured. And Matthew Moore.
Yeah, I love following that introduction.
Matthew
Here
Moore,
we go.
Best of luck. Could you give us a 4-sentence introduction? I know this is your second time on the show.
Yeah.
Many of our listeners know you personally, but just to remind them.
Matthew Moore. I'm a Pisces. I founded Improv for the People in 2008, and last month we celebrated 15 years of the studio, and that's exciting. I grew up.
You grew up?
I'm growing up. No. I hope I never do. Who wants to grow
No.
up? God. I grew up in Indiana, but I've lived in LA for a long time. This is definitely my home. And I love to improvise. I'm a stand-up comic. I like to write sketch. I like to perform sketch. I'm an actor, and there you go.
And could you show us your hands, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
What camera am I looking at?
There's only one.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you both so much. I'll hang on to those hand images for later.
Yeah, creepy.
It's going to be important.
They really make you do that, by the way, in commercial auditions. They want to make sure you're not missing a finger or have a big old cut. So you have to show your hands and do your profiles. That wasn't just some random shit I was doing.
So you interview? You don't do commercials.
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
I don't have as much time to do them as I used to, but I used to. I mean, I'd say from the year 1998 to 2005, it's like mostly what I did.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
I love them.
Would you do them again?
Oh, absolutely.
Heck yeah. Oh, that's good.
All right. Here's a question I'm going to throw at you. If you could, would you take one of those like long-term advertisement deals, like Flo from Progressive, right? She's been Flo for a long time, or one of those roles.
Stephanie Courtney is the young lady's name.
Courtney,
Yes.
Fantastic improviser,
She's
right?
great.
Groundling.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you take one of those deals if offered to you?
I would be so fast out of this room.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes. Is the answer to that.
All right. Yes, is the answer. And if there was a dream company you could be the face of, what would that company be?
A dream company?
Yeah, dream company.
Maybe he should get a couple improvisers on the show, because then they would think
They
of
would
a
be
funny.
fun. That's a great idea.
We've been looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great. Maybe Stephanie Courtney could come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to be the face of like one of those European riverboat cruises, those real high end. Yeah, no, I think they're elegant.
Fancy a trip down the Thames? I'm Matthew Moore. Join us down the Thames.
Why are you this angry Scot?
Dinner every night.
Why are you so angry?
You had to ask yourself that, why you're so angry.
You're the one who did that.
That's Matthew Moore.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like me to do Jonathan Mangum?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, behind door number 3 is a Toyota Prius.
That's actually pretty good. Pretty good.
If you ever get sick,
Yeah.
and I don't wish that for you.
No, you don't.
I don't wish that
I know
for you.
you don't.
But, Wayne, if you're listening.
Hey,
Hello.
I would be the face of Brother Printers. Hey, I like printing. Don't you? Brother?
No.
Color and black and white. Office charts for you. Brother. The name in printers since 19...
Why does it keep going?
I don't write the copy. I read the copy.
Just when you think it's over.
I read the copy. They edit it for the commercial.
Are you done? Is there more?
The story of Brother begins in the year 1500.
Wow.
Papyrus. No.
That's an old... Papyrus is older than 1500.
No, but Brother implemented it.
I
into
see.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Matt,
Have you been down the Danube in August? It's a lovely trip through the wineries and pastures of Austria and Germany.
How do I change this channel?
Please sign up for your next riverboat
gosh,
cruise
I
on
can't.
the Danube Express.
This is a...
we'll cut this.
Okay, good.
The Danube Express. Fantastic. All right. Well, gentlemen, before we jump into the main portion of our interview, we got to play some 3 things here on Improv for the podcast. A tradition here on the show. I'm going to give each of you 3 categories. You, as quickly as possible, are going to list 3 things from each of those categories. Jonathan, I'll have you go first.
Okay.
So as is tradition, here we go. These are 3 things. Number 1.
Ham, No.
Oh,
You said list 3 things. You just said 3 things.
Oh, I've got to give you the category.
Well,
My
now
mistake.
I'm prepared. But
Now you're prepared. All right. First category. 3 different ways folks mispronounce your last name.
Magnum, Smagnum, Ham.
That was 3. Very nice. Very nice. Next category. 3 best snacks to eat on set.
Pickles.
What?
Josh, stop it. Jar of beef jerky.
Did you
In a
say
jar.
Josh Groban?
Parkles, jar of beef jerky, and Josh Grobins.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yes.
I know what all those are. Last category. I think it's a deeper cut. Dungeons and Dragons slang or vernacular.
D&D hoop knobs and dice for nerds.
Dice for nerds. All right. Very nice. Very nice.
I can feel the listenership going down.
People, no, will be no listeners at this point in the show.
No, okay, great.
You can't go down from 0, Matt.
No, that's right. You can only go up.
All right, Matt. Here we go. These
Yeah.
are 3 things.
Okay.
3 nicknames you wish you had but don't.
Oh, Strong Boy, Sexy Beast, and Boy.
A lot of boys in there. All right. Next category. 3 new things at IFTP since you were last on the show.
Our lofts have been remodeled. We're doing more shows than we used to, and we have more members than we used to.
Very nice. Very
Was he
nice.
supposed to try to be funny on that one?
We're doing facts right now.
Oh, okay.
We're doing facts.
We're good.
FAX. It's coming in right here.
On a brother fax player.
On the brother
Fax players are what they were called.
The fax player.
Yes.
Do you know what the fax is? It's an itinerary of your trip down the Danube.
No, please
come on.
change the channel.
He is good.
He's good.
He's good.
He's quick.
He's good. Last category, man. You're not off the hot seat. 3. How do I phrase this? 3 lifetime statistics you wish you could keep track of. For example, how many chips you've eaten over the course of your life.
How many showers have I taken? How many neighbors have I made upset? And how many girls have checked me out?
These are 3
3 things.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well done. Now, Jonathan, I think, I took a shot and I missed. I was doing a deep dive. It might have been on your Twitter page.
Okay.
Are you a D&D player?
I am, yeah, I am.
Oh, okay, good. I saw there was a link, and then I was like, I'm just gonna throw it on.
You
there.
asked me for
We'll see what he
you.
says.
You wanted me to do 3 D&D
like slang or vernacular.
but everyone calls it D&D, and
That's true.
There's no other.
That's true. From within the game, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
see.
That was my mistake. I should have clarified more in the category.
You should really be more prepared.
I don't think the question was clear.
Yeah.
Michael.
Thanks, man. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
your feedback. All right. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for playing 3 things.
Sure.
Okay. Now,
Michael, 3 underrated snacks.
3
Go.
underrated snacks. Chex Mix, but just the brown rye chips.
Okay, 1.
Flavor blasted goldfish.
2.
Pickles, but the whole one, the big one at Disneyland. Yeah, see?
Disney pickles.
Disney pickles.
That gets a reaction. You're in Adventureland, right? You just got off Indiana Jones. You saw that great Harrison Ford animatronic.
Yeah.
You grab a big pickle.
Just
Like
a
I
big-
could walk a little further to the Dole pineapple, but I really just want some sour vinegar in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Best place to get them.
Can't grab that pickle fast enough.
Oh,
What? Then you have a pickle.
no girls have checked you out. What's the next question?
All right. So, Jonathan, we're going to go ahead and jump into our interview. And just to start off, I want to ask, in your life, when was the first time you heard about, learned about, saw maybe a whisper of improv? When were you first
The
introduced?
first time I was at Louisiana State University taking an acting class, and it was just kind of an exercise in the middle of class, but that didn't really count. It was like, if you smoke weed the first time, you don't get high. So like it was that. I was like, what? I don't huh? And then years later, I was in Orlando, and I went. My friends go, let's go see a comedy show, and went to see this thing called Comedy Sports.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? And I could not believe it. I could not believe they were making it up. I was laughing so damn hard. I walked up. I said, hey, you guys, this show, Brian Howard and James Newport, I can't believe they go, yeah, well, we teach classes. Come on. I was like, okay. So I also didn't know that once you've taken 2 classes, they just put you in the show. So that happened. So I was thrown on stage, horrified, and wasn't good.
That's not true.
It is true. I swear. This is Orlando, and they were doing shows in the second level of a Pizza Hut, with one long table with 20 chairs. And it was Friday nights, and people would fill it up, and they would just do comedy sports, and they just put you in.
That's incredible.
Explain the game in one class, and then the next week you were on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go out to pizza after the shows?
Yeah, well, so the funny thing is, the people don't always eat all their pizzas. They leave us.
Come on.
We would just go to the table and eat that shit right off the. I mean, I was
Yes.
19 years old and poor, and
I do that now.
yeah. Oh. Just go into Pizza Huts and eat off the.
I was just caught up in your story. I probably would do it.
Yeah, you would.
100%.
Yeah, but that's when I first saw it and I got it. I was like, oh.
And prior to that, like growing up, were you interested in performing? Was that something you enjoyed doing? I know you mentioned you were in an acting class.
Yeah, I mean, I did it a little bit. Like we had my grade school. I think
Yeah.
I played Jesus in the
Wow.
the Easter play. But I was like, they kept trying to tell me to take my shirt off. And I was like, this Jesus is wearing a T-shirt because I am horrified. I was so skinny. Like, I wouldn't even take my shirt. I was the guy at the pool that left his shirt on.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus is not. And they got mad at me. And their sister Rhoda was like pretty adamant that Jesus was not going to wear a shirt. And I was like, Jesus is wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
And that was like 7th grade. But I wasn't really like, I want to be an actor. That didn't happen until I actually moved to Orlando. So.
All right. And you know, Jesus was human too. So I think your take
did.
on his character,
How do they know Jesus wasn't wearing shirts?
it's not in there.
It's not.
It's not in there.
It's not.
I checked.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
you might want to look at Ecclesiastes 15.
Oh, well, how does that go?
Tell us about
Jesus
that.
wore a shirt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're right. You were. I should have gone the other way with that.
No, that's the one verse I didn't read.
That comes right after Mary wept. Mary wept.
Jesus wept.
Jesus wore a shirt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then he said, that's the next verse after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Jesus wept. Shortest verse of the Bible.
It
Jesus
is.
wept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of
Whatever happened to
scholars.
Sister Rhoda?
Sister Rhoda, I have no idea.
You should probably reach out to her.
No.
Okay.
No way.
She might be listening right now.
She might be. She might be a huge improv fan, and she's probably 112.
She's
So
112.
she's probably doing okay.
A young 112.
A young 112.
That's right.
All right. So you get kind of wrangled into this comedy sports, right? 2 classes, boom, you're on stage. And what was your experience like in those first couple of performances?
It was horrifying but addictive. I would throw up before every show. I was just horrified. I was just so scared. And they called me the caffeine kid because I would just run out there and like tense up and just try to get anything out. And because I was so awkward, I started getting laughs. Wasn't doing good improv, but because I was just this super skinny pole caffeine kid that's just, you see his face turning red and his eyes are darting around. And I'm assuming that's why people were enjoying it. And that was like probably like 6 months of just being horrified and vomiting before every show.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you stuck with it for some reason.
Because it was too much fun. It was too much fun.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh.
You put up with the
And
vomit.
free food.
That's what it is.
I did not have money. I did not come from money. So that was literally free food was
Yeah.
a huge deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
a 19-year-old to pizza, that's
Yeah.
just a magnetic connection.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you playing with the same people every show?
Yeah,
or-
it was probably the same 7 or 8 people. And comedy sports is 1 referee and 2 teams of 2 or 3.
Uh-huh.
And comedy sports is really good at simple games that, like, if you can't think of something funny, there's just basic rules to go back to that'll always
Safety net kind of thing.
plenty of safety nets in that show. So
Yeah.
I like when I'm talking about teaching improvisers, I like starting from short form comedy because there's all these beautiful little crutches that you can just lean on, and then you can jump out of the box a little bit and maybe try, and then you can go back, and the audience still has a good time, and they still feel secure. So I prefer the short form first, long form later. I know some people like to do the other way around, but that's just how I learned it and how I like to teach it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So 6 months, the caffeine kid is building a reputation. He throws up, he eats pizza, and he kills on the stage. So you're doing comedy sports in Orlando. And did it reach a point you kept with comedy sports and were like, okay, what else can I do with this improv? Or what was your next step?
So there was a theater down the street called SAC Theater Comedy Lab, still there in Orlando, Florida. It was like the second city of Orlando, right? But it wasn't tourists. It was mostly just locals that would go. And they were doing 13 shows a week.
Wow.
3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday. They had 150 seats, packing them out. They sent some spies to come look at the comedy sports show to see if anyone would help that they wanted to poach.
Yeah.
They poached me. They brought me over to do theater sports. And so bigger stage. Now, instead of 15 people eating pizza, it was 150 people. That's where I met Wayne. He had just started doing it there, and I met everyone else that would become the House Full of Honkies, which was the name of our improv group that moved out to LA together. Did that for probably about 3 years.
So they came to the Pizza Hut.
Yes.
And said, that guy, that kid, he's housing a slice of pepperoni right now. We want him.
They did. They absolutely did. Yeah.
It's amazing. Okay, so the Pizza Hut, that was a big deal. Like, people were coming in and selling out that 20-seat table.
It was great.
Yeah.
It really was. And at the time, you have to understand that improv was not everywhere like it is now.
Yeah.
It was still like a crazy magic trick. People were like, what?
Yeah.
Like, people had never heard of it before. So their friends that went the week before would bring their friends to the next Friday night. You're not going to believe this. They make this up. It was still pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing. People would show up every week. Their minds are blown.
They were, yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of shows in a week, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then we started doing classes. I kind of helped them create their SAC Theater University. So we had, 4 levels of classes, beginner, intermediate, advanced, blah, blah. And then the people in the final class would get to join the Sunday group, which was the B-level players on their way to becoming A players.
Yep.
That whole thing. But unlike Los Angeles, where I feel like that's kind of necessary for a theater to survive, at the time, in the 90s, we were surviving off just ticket sales. That was keeping the theater alive.
The show ticket sales.
The show ticket sales, yeah.
Right.
Doing 13 shows a week, selling out 150 seats. Man, that's amazing.
It was great. It was very local. Like, it wasn't like people in Second City hadn't heard of us.
Yeah.
And we had heard of them. But because we were this kind of the only improv in town, really, except for Comedy Sports, but they were much smaller.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a tourist attraction, but it was just mostly all the local high schools and colleges would come. It was a family show too. It was clean. That's
really cool.
that was SAC Theater. They're still going strong.
Wow, that's
in
fantastic.
Orlando.
Have you gone back and done a show?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So during those 3 years that you were there, it sounds like, there was a huge amount of exponential growth. You were coming in, there were lots of changes happening in the program, a lot of talent coming in the door, yourself included. What made you want to make the leap? So you were here in Florida, you were working at the SAC Theater, putting on tons of shows, teaching classes, developing curriculum, all these different things. And then at some point, there was a decision to be made, right? Let's go to Los Angeles.
I started to sub at a place called the Comedy Warehouse. Disney had opened this thing, no longer there, called Pleasure Island. It was literally an island, and there were 10 bars on this island, each one different theme. There was a country western with live music. There was the Adventurers Club with characters walking around like, did you spot the buffalo last week? Like an 80s club. And then there was a comedy club, and it was a highly produced Disney improv show. A 40-minute show. We did 5 a night. So I started doing that, and started just hearing more people that were making a living at acting. I was making a living at SAC, but it was a 19-year-old's idea of a living, like, $20,000 a year, which is like, woo, I made it. So then one of the people that was doing SAC Theater, his name is D. Baker, who has gone on to do thousands of voiceovers.
Yeah,
He's
D. Bradley
Daffy
Baker.
Duck. He does all the Star Wars things. He's Percy the Platypus and Phineas and Ferb. He had moved to LA and had started to have some success in commercials. So I called him up and he's like, you should move, man. You should move. And I was like, okay. So I moved out, lived with him for a little while, him and his wife, Michelle. And pretty soon afterwards, just started booking commercials, which was great. And then over the first year of me living here in LA, I convinced the rest of our improv group, which included Wayne, that we should all move to LA and do shows here.
Yeah, it was time to make that jump.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, guys, this is great. Like, there's something here for us. There's a market.
Something here. I had gotten my SAG card in Orlando because there was some filming in Orlando at the time. So did an episode of Sequest and some Nickelodeon shows. Clarissa Explains It All. And so I knew that if I came to LA, I would have this SAG card, which is kind of a leg up on someone just getting off the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, someone showing up with like a backpack and a dream. Right?
Yes, exactly.
It's amazing. Okay, so when you moved to LA, how do you feel your improv experience helped you make that transition coming over into the film world over here?
It was it was great when all auditions used to be live. Like going on tape was super rare, and being someone that can improv and riff with people and walking in the room and being funny if something went wrong during the audition. But one time I got a job because I was doing the scene and a poster in the office just kind of fell down, and I like incorporated that into without missing a beat. I was like, yeah, because Bobby hangs the posters up, and just like, and they were so like I'm sure I wasn't the best actor for the job, but because they were like so impressed that I took that and put it into the script, they're like, book him. And sometimes it comes down to that, and it's not the best actor. It's just what makes them go, oh. Yeah. So it was a huge help. It's less helpful now that everything's on tape.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that. I can't go in a room and have a fun story and riff with people. It's like, no, I'm just going to record and send it in like everybody else.
Most actors say the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was like I'm not a better actor than other people, but that was my magic skill, was that. And so maybe their magic skill is they're good actors. So it's like it's just a disadvantage for me.
Yeah. I think that's a good point, because I know, with self-tape, you just kind of lose that energy of being in the room. And for those who have that skill, I mean, you come in, you take over, you make an impression.
Yeah, and people can, for self-tape, maybe they'll do 100 takes, right? And then they'll get it on one. And now you're going to hire them. They're going to show up. Are they going to mess up 99 times? I don't like driving, but it still was a better way to audition than what we have now.
Yeah, it's a different way to do everything. Now, back in that time when you moved to LA, I imagine that maybe improv training wasn't as common among actors as it is now. I mean, everyone, they get an agent first saying, oh, but take an improv class, put that on your resume. That'll look good for commercial auditions. So I imagine, too, that was a unique skill that probably helped out a ton. Like you said, get in the room. Oh, Bobby hangs the posters. And just, that was an asset that I bet not everyone had.
Yep. Yeah. Was that a question?
I don't know. That was
a nice little recap.
True fact.
True fact.
Did you say facts?
Yes. Oh, there's a new fact. That one is.
Whoa.
Where's that from?
Oh, it's from. It's from Seine River Cruises.
Oh.
Seine.
That's a river in France.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you always wondered about? Where's the camera? Have you always wondered about a trip down the Seine? Well, now's your lucky chance. Why am I from Ireland all of a sudden?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh.
So as we can see, not every actor has those improv skills.
Exactly.
Thank you. We're looking for a new podcast host.
Oh, really? Interesting.
You know anybody?
Okay.
I'm right here. All right. So amazing. So you got everyone kind of excited. This SAC theater group that you had, you got friends moving over. You're like, guys, come out to LA. Come out to LA. And was there a point you moved out here? You're doing commercial auditions, maybe booking some TV shows, things like that. Did you have a hankering to continue doing improv when you moved out here?
Yeah. So our improv group, the House Full of Honkies, we did probably 5 or 6 years, different places. One was the Acme Theater, which was off La Brea at the time. We did one show a week. We had a really fun format called You Bet Your Honky. It was a lot of wagering, like which team you think would win with regular people. We shot 2 television pilots with the group that, neither one went, but at least we got all the way to making a pilot, which was great. And then after that, I was on the road with Wayne a lot. So
doing corporate shows?
Doing touring. So
touring, yeah.
Doing theaters.
Got it.
Like 3,000 seat venues. We were out almost every weekend from like the year 2001 to like maybe 2010, 11-ish.
Wow.
And then Wayne did a residency in Vegas for a year, 5 nights a week. We did the Venetian, an improv show. So just a lot of touring with Wayne, which was great because there was a strike and a couple of times and different things where people just couldn't work. And Wayne is extremely loyal. And he's, I have so much fun improvising with him because we know each other so well. So it's getting to go on the road with your best friend and have a good time, as opposed to, some job where you might not like your boss. Or it was great. It was so great. I can't complain about those years.
Yeah. Wow. That's so 10 years or so on the road then.
We still do it now, but just not at that intensity.
Less frequency.
Yeah.
Would you say that kind of the opinion or almost maybe the style of improv differs depending on where you are in the country?
No, I think every place has its, short form versus long form. And I think short form was out of fashion for a while, but I think an audience prefers short form just every time. It's just not LA or New York where everyone has seen a lot of improv.
Yeah.
And so, but I think just in general, like the average person across the country, they just want to show up. They just want to laugh.
Relax. Yeah.
They want to, and when you change the games every 5 minutes, it's something new. It's like changing the channel, right? Which isn't to say there aren't amazing long forms, there aren't amazing short forms, but from what I see, at least when I was doing it, short form was kind of what they preferred. And that's what Wayne and I would do.
Yeah, I think I would agree that I think the general audience, they like short form. But here in LA, we're all oversaturated. It's just like, I want to see something new and dangerous. And
yeah, I mean, they both have advantages. I've always never really discriminated between them. It's like it's funny or it's not. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I've seen long forms that started off hilarious and then just died, and short forms that started. You know what you never see is a crappy show that then turns around. Like once it's gone over the cliff, you cannot pull up. It just there's no warning. It just, you're done.
can't bring it back.
So it's funny or it's not.
That's a good point. All right. So, elephant in the room, I got to ask. Whose line is it anyway? How long does it actually take to make an episode?
How long does it take?
Yeah.
So our tapings are like 4 to 5 hours. And in that, depending on how well it's gone, Dan, the producer, will get anywhere from 2 to 5 episodes. So that's...
Oh, wow.
So sometimes after, I think they tape 6 days a year. That's it.
Wow.
And so he'll get
a season out of it.
a full season, sometimes season and a half.
Wow.
Sometimes he'll take the clips of things that weren't used and put them in a compilation thing or like a bloopers thing.
Yeah.
So he gets quite a bit for his bang out of that.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I mean, 6
Quite a
days
bit
of
for
work.
his bang. That's not a saying.
Quite
is
a
it?
bit for his bang.
He gets a bang
He
for
gets
his
a bang for his buck.
Yes.
Bang for his
That's
buck.
what it
Yes.
is.
Although I like quite a bit for his bang.
gets
What do you
quite-
get for your bang, Matt?
Well, it depends on what street I'm on. If I'm on Sepulveda,
Right.
$15.
Okay.
Wow.
But if I'm on
Doheny. What about Doheny?
40
Ooh,
during the week and maybe at 45 on a Saturday,
nice.
Yeah.
How about the service road behind the airport? What is that?
free of charge.
Okay. Good to know.
I pay.
You pay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Got needs, Jonathan.
I understand.
I'm a man, not a machine.
I understand. I understand.
Have you ever had sex with jet fumes like in the air?
Go on.
No. Oh!
Comedy
You saved
sports, comedy sports. Coming at your face, it's comedy sports.
Ba-da-da-dun-dun-dee-dee-dee-dee.
The caffeine kid lives on.
Was that a real? That's the theme.
Yep.
We need a theme at IFTP. We should do that.
There is a comedy sports theme.
Yeah, that's great.
But there's a real one that I am trying to remember.
that
how
wasn't it?
No. Take me out to see improv. There's a whole thing that they wrote to that. But
Okay.
IFTP needs a song.
You write that for us.
You put the I and the F and the T and P.
So, Michael, we need to hire a musician to come up with We should hire your sons. They're musicians.
They are, yes.
Yeah, very talented
Their
musicians.
band is called
At
Whim.
Whim.
They're at We're Whim, WEREWHIM on Instagram. Check them out.
Yeah, you should check them out. They're fun.
Where Whim. Where Whim.
Where Whim.
All right.
We're Whim.
We're Whim.
Not Where Whim.
Somebody actually thought it was Where Whim, and they're like, "Is that like a
Where Whim?
dog,
It's like a
like
wolf.
slash, like a
Wolf.
like a woman werewolf, a Where Whim?"
Where Whim. Might have something there.
Where Whim. I'm still worried about us putting T's in our P's, but we're not going to expand on that, though. All right, Jonathan.
Yo.
So I wanted to ask. So
Can I get anyone a beverage while I'm sitting here?
No, but when you get up, I'd like
You like a drink?
a large
Diet
Dr Pepper.
Would you like that?
No, I don't- I don't
Because I
want
could get that for you.
But that's the closest diet drink that tastes like the real drink, don't you think?
I
Of all
do.
the diet drinks, Diet Dr
Yes.
Pepper is like, you came real close.
Real close.
I think that's true.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's the 23 flavors.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
They subtract one of them, the sugar, right?
The sugar.
That's
You're
a
right.
Subtract the sugar.
Yeah. Now, Jonathan, do you have a rider?
Do I have a what?
A rider?
A writer?
Like when you come to a venue, do you have your rider? Like, oh, can I get a?
Oh no, I
Peanut
don't.
bar.
But Wayne does, and it's just like make sure there's bottled water, make sure that there's like, I think it's like 2 or 3 Subway sandwiches. It's nothing crazy. It's like just in case we haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Coffee, stuff like that. That's pretty standard. Some people ask for crazy stuff.
Yeah. It always fascinates me hearing the stories of folks.
And there's also in a rider, there's like, okay, there's a picture of the stage. 2 monitors here, a keyboard here, make sure there's a direct box. Like that is included in the rider.
the logistics.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the snack side of things. This show's really just all about questions about snacks.
Snacks are delicious.
Pickles, snacks on set.
Snacks are so good.
Jars of beef jerky. I mean,
Jars of beef jerky.
Jars.
Better than cans of beef jerky.
Jars of
the
beef
canned
jerky.
stuff, it's too juicy.
Yeah, it's
too
very
much
juicy.
liquid.
You don't want a wet beef jerky.
No, that's not beef jerky.
No.
The beef jerky inherently should be dry and tough to the pull.
You should work in marketing.
Thank you very much.
Wow. That's Jacqueline's beef jerky.
Otherwise, it's a beef Slurpee. Isn't that gross?
Oh.
Yeah. All right, 7-Eleven, if you're listening.
It's going to be, and you just missed July 11th. Oh man, just for a
missed
couple
what?
months. July 11th,
Oh, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. They do free beef Slurpees.
Random 7-Eleven story. If you go to Japan, which I went for the first time ever,
Yeah.
the food in the 7-Eleven is insanely delicious. Like all of the roller food, all of the wrapped, like they have like sushis, but it is so good.
Really?
Like, and I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Like you can go on YouTube and read about this stuff,
Yeah.
but it's crazy good.
Wow.
Like they take it very seriously.
Good for them.
Yeah.
We can take a lesson or two.
We could.
Well,
yeah.
I don't mean to diss American 7-Elevens.
No, but you did. But I did too. We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
No, it's crazy how good the quality, like everything is like fresh and delicious. I didn't believe it, of course.
Yeah.
Went there. I was just like, oh my God.
That's so good to know. Because
Yeah.
if you're out and about and you're running around doing things, you just grab something good right there.
And yet you can't go walking down the street and eating it.
Oh, they don't. That's
They don't like
against
it.
the law.
There's no trash cans either. So you have to buy it there, step to the side,
Yeah.
eat it, put it in the trash, and then walk. But no one's walking with Cokes. No one's walking with none of that. And it's perfectly clean because of it.
Yeah. Chewing gum is a thing too, right? They don't.
I didn't see anybody chewing gum.
Yeah.
They could have been.
I want to go there. You had a good time there, didn't you?
It was great. I loved it.
I want to go there.
Go to Japan.
Go to
you go.
Japan. The Japan Board of Tourism is loving this right now. They are. I just got an email.
Oh, cool.
You did?
Yeah, from
That was
Japan
so
Board
fast.
of Tourism. Yeah, well, it's much faster than that. Brother, facts.
The JBOT?
Yeah, JBot.
JBot?
JBot.
What airline did you fly to Japan?
I'm honestly going to try to remember. Oh, I flew Delta.
There you
You know what?
go.
I enjoyed Delta One.
You did?
Yeah, Delta One is for the discriminating traveler.
is, yeah.
It's a level above
It is.
other airlines.
I think so. I have flown Delta One. I've flown Delta One a couple times to Europe. You've gone the other way.
What do you mean other way?
You went to Japan.
Oh, you didn't mean I flew other airlines because I would never fly any airline
Then
except for Delta.
Delta.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I have Delta 4 or 5. It does not discriminate.
Very good.
Down on the tier. I will back you up on those stories about Japan 7-Eleven. I haven't been, but I've watched a lot of videos.
Right.
And Costco in Japan as well.
I haven't been there,
Pretty
but
amazing.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just they got a lot.
What
of
are we
good
doing
stuff.
wrong here?
Not much. But
I don't
Just a
know.
couple things.
Not much. I was at Costco today.
What'd you buy?
I bought a box of popcorn, like individually packaged popcorn, because we have our IFTP improv camp coming up in a couple weeks in the woods and cabins. So I got some popcorn for all of us. Yeah, I mean, we eat more than popcorn there, but it's like just a nice snack.
So rather than just making a big pot of popcorn, you're going to have hundreds of wrappers destroy our planet. And you ask what's wrong with the U.S. I think we found out right now.
And then I got, I got 3 pallets of plastic bottles. Nothing in them.
just
I
a
just got
plastic
plastic
bottle?
bottles just to give out
Oh, that's great.
and throw out the car on our way up the mountain.
They make a little, you throw them.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
They're fun to kind of crinkle and then
Yeah. It's fun to
dispose.
cook. You know what else I got?
Dehydrated beef Slurpees.
I got some
Dehydrated beef
Slurpees.
Slurpees. They come in a little pouch, you open them,
That's disgusting.
then you pour the water in.
Just that one.
It sounds like army food.
Yeah.
And then I got just a couple crates of styrofoam. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Did you break it in let all the little pieces fall? Good.
Any packing peanuts in there?
I got some packing peanuts.
Packing penis? Are you packing penis?
Give me a minute, man. Go and buy me a drink first. What do you think I am? Some sort of gay hooker? You think I'm a gay hooker?
I'll see you at the airport.
Not a hooker. This podcast has gone a different direction than what
yeah,
improv.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Jonathan, in relation to Whose Line, what would you say, maybe there isn't or maybe there is, the difference between improvising on stage versus in front of a studio audience doing short form games? Like you're on tour on the road, you're going to different theaters. It's a type of short form or whatever improv you were doing with Wayne versus you're in the studio there 5-6 hours, you're shooting.
Well, there's a couple things. One is that there's cameras and you have to make sure you don't, like you could go too far forward, you're blocking the camera that's covering Aisha. So they kind of give you a little, it looks much bigger on TV than it is when you're there. It's a pretty small stage. And so you have to know, if I'm playing newscasters, I have to kind of stay here. Cameras will follow you if you go try to do something in the audience or run off to the side, but it doesn't happen a lot because it's just a pain in the butt to try to keep contained. Also, it's like, I feel like in that game, there's a lot of very set things, like when we do a director, where we'll start a scene in a style. Okay, Jonathan and Ryan, you start. Wayne will come in. Colin will stop it and say, "No, that's crap. Do it again in this style." It's like, I feel like it's always going to be me and Ryan, and I've got maybe 8 seconds before Wayne comes in. And once Wayne comes in, I'm not talking anymore because now Wayne's doing whatever he's improvising. So it's very much structured, still improv, but I feel like it's very, your turn to talk, stop. Your turn to talk, stop. So it's that also is what makes it a great show. Consistently funny, easy to shoot a bunch in one day, and because it's so cheap is why it's been picked up for 10 years. But that can feel restrictive as opposed to when you're on stage, you can run out, you can do anything, you can, jump in the rafters and pull it's less free is the word.
Well, they're doing something right because it's the only one that's ever worked.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
what I say. People sometimes will like, I don't like the way they do it. I'm like, it's working. And why fix what ain't broken makes sense for that show. Dan's a smart
show.
Guy. Yeah.
It's a very fun. And it just introduces so many people around the country, maybe the world, that just don't have access to the art form.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It's kind of why improv is well known, I think. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah. At least in its form of like, people knew it. Like I knew Robin Williams improvised. I knew Jonathan Winters would say funny things off the cuff.
But they would associate that in that time with stand-up.
With stand-up or just with comedy or variety. But it wasn't like, we're going to go see an improv show. Right. That wasn't a thing.
Right.
Yeah. I would say a number of the folks, this is I think about the 50th episode we've recorded. A number of the folks I've had on here, their first exposure to improv was through Whose Line. And that's, all different parts of the country they're coming from, and they're now here at IFTP with that little seed planted at some point. They're like, I saw it on TV. I think probably, I'd say at least 70% of the guests we've had on, if not more.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Crazy. You did that.
It's a small part of it.
All right. So Jonathan, improv, as we know, I mean, it's played a huge role in your life, but have you seen impact from studying improv, learning, performing improv outside of your professional life, but in your personal life?
I think that I am good at jumping into situations I don't want to jump into, or maybe risk is a better word. Sometimes they're like, oh man, I got to do this. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm like, let's go. Whee! Because I'm like, I've done that on stage so many times. It's like, just jump in. I mean, if it's bad, it'll be over soon, right? So it does help with, like we did a show recently, and I won't say who or for what, but it was not a good situation. I was like, let's just jump in the thing and do it. We just jumped in and did it. It was, who cares? It was fine. But it does help, I think, improv training with life, with the yes and the listening. Listening is really important, and it helps you with that for sure.
Definitely. And I'm sorry about that show.
Yeah.
Nobody's more sorry about that than Matt.
But you know what? We could have gone in like, hey folks, but no, we just turned it on, did our show.
We did.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, we did. But you really saved the day for me that night. But yeah, your attitude about it was really good for me. But you know what? You know what surprised me about that event? It's like several people have come up to me after, that was so fun. I'm like, we didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But it's over.
It's over.
It's
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
People are going to ask you about this later. Like, what was that?
Yeah, what was that?
What show specifically was that?
What was that?
It was for Danube River Cruises.
Oh, DRC.
The old, you did that very quickly.
Thanks.
Remember that acronym game that we do sometimes?
Yeah,
You
that's a
taught
fun
me
game.
that game.
Super fun game.
It's a really fun game. We should play that sometime.
I love that game.
Yeah.
It's a great game. Maybe, I don't have that written down.
Let's show how it works. So you just we would be in a scene together,
Yeah.
and I'd walk up to you and say, "Hey, Bob, nice seeing you.
Cool.
It looks like the tractor facility is coming along.
Yeah.
I see you got a BOJ down there.
Yeah, it's good. First of all, it's good to see you this morning, Carl.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
Tractor productivity rate is higher than last quarter. And all that is because the
BOJ?
the bearings of Jesus.
Yeah,
We installed a new spiritual component to the factory.
Right.
And off the charts.
Was that the shirtless bearings of Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We did a little consult with Sister Roslyn. What was it? Roth?
Sister Rhoda?
Sister
Yes.
Rhoda.
Okay, sure.
She did a consult.
Oh, interesting. All right.
112.
Fantastic. Moving up. 108.
What?
108.
She's
Was- Huh?
Listen, I've been meaning to comment. I don't want to be too personal, but I noticed the other day that it looks like you have a new MT.
Motherfucking trailer. Yes, I have moved out of the last trailer.
Wait, did you just hyphenate motherfucking?
Are you the
Whoa,
truck
wow.
factory president the grammar police now?
Yeah. I went to Purdue.
You're not invited to my motherfucking trailer.
There's the acronym.
There
game.
it is. This beautiful example. And we've been recording for more than 60 seconds. That was a well-placed
You can drop an F-bomb.
motherfucker. Yeah.
And the way the game is played is if you keep going, if you want to keep messing with your friends, you just start at, it looks like the JOPQMT.
Yeah.
Like you just start really kind of watching them struggle.
That's so fun.
Nasty ones.
Yeah.
Nasty ones.
That's so fun.
All right. So how did the two of you meet, Jonathan? Matt?
Let's see. I've known you for several years. I met you I met your wife first.
I know where we met.
Where?
We met at a Chicago concert. Was that the first place?
Yeah, that's the first time we really hung out. But I had met Leah a couple times prior to that.
Right.
Through our mutual friend David John,
Yes.
who's a phenomenal actor
I
and
love
improviser.
David.
Totally. And then David was there, right? So we all went to the Chicago concert. Yeah, you had do you still have that car? You had like a black Porsche.
No, I don't have that car anymore. I remember I leased that. That was neat.
That
That
was
was
a good car. That was a good car.
Thank
Good
you.
car. Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, so that was several years ago now. And then we just all are buddies, and there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I'll do an improv. I know you've done a number of shows together. Jonathan, we had the pleasure of
Well,
doing a
this
show.
guy invites me all the time to do shows, which I love doing.
We have so much fun
thank
with
you
you.
every time.
Yeah, totally.
I don't ever stop asking me to do your shows.
Always.
'Cause I love it. I love it.
We will always have you at Improv for the people.
Yes.
You're like an honorary member. Is that okay for us to say
Yeah,
that?
I love it. I love it.
I think that's fair to say. Wouldn't you say, Michael?
I would say that, absolutely.
I love it.
Good.
I'll take it.
Cool.
Improv for the Mangum.
Ooh.
Let's not push it.
Okay, well, just some branding ideas.
We have IFTP everywhere. We can't change it to IFTM. Anyway. Yeah, we have Jonathan on with us a lot, and Mindy joins us on occasion.
Love Mindy.
Surley, and,
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun people. Annie Surdich
Annie.
and Wayne Brady has come by at your kind connection there that
Yes.
made that happen. And then the Amazeballs people at Improv for the People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amaze
Absolutely.
balls.
Amazeballs.
I've never been described that way.
That term stopped being used in 2012.
Why?
Just so you know. Why?
Oh, I know why.
Uh,
Just say it.
You have to, there's just new,
I know why.
you know what the new word is? Gag.
Gag?
Yep.
What does that mean?
One of our young friends, Leah, texted something about, hey, you got to come see our
Yes,
son's
I
band,
heard
Whim.
about this. Yep.
And the response from this young person was, gag. We're like, oh my God. What? And she's like, no, you're like, gag. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So that's the thing now.
Gag.
No cap.
Straight
No cap.
facts.
No cap.
What?
No cap, straight facts.
This one here is very hip with the young lingo.
Yeah.
I was a middle school teacher, so you gotta be up on it or you're going to get destroyed. So.
They just speak differently. Sometimes when I read their texts, it's like, wait, what?
Why are you reading children's texts?
That's a good question. Thank you.
In California, I cannot.
But other places you do?
When I
What's up on Matt?
Yeah, when I travel.
Oh no! The Danube. Oh no!
I've been
it's
let
a
go of the
summons.
I've just been fired by fax.
Yeah, you're wanted in the French courts.
In the French courts. Yeah, that's funny. Any other questions, Michael Lee Evans?
About what you have going on outside of this room? Yes. But we'll move past those for now.
Good.
Jonathan, I just have a couple more questions for you, then we're going to get to our games. So my first question is, what are some projects you're working on right now that you're excited about?
Oh man, I have a couple different comedy game show ideas that I'm have taken out and I'm pitching. And
Is You Jokes one? Can I say that?
yeah, you can say You Jokes. You Jokes is not one of them.
I love that show.
I have one is there's one really fun one that I have that's kind of like a imagine Curb Your Enthusiasm happening, but imagine that happening on location and no one else knows that they're improvising a scene. So it's a sitcom being shot with hidden cameras and the people that are there don't know and that they affect the story. Because sometimes a question might be asked of them or they might be asked to do something. So that's cool.
Okay.
I have a really fun show with comedians that perform, and then a bartender makes a drink based on their act.
Oh.
So been pitching that this week. 3 drink minimum, it's called, because there's 3 comedians.
Good.
And there's always like different. I find that the people that are successful. I haven't sold a show that's been on television. I've sold some things, but they've never gone past just ordering or pilot. So when I look at the people I know that are successful at that, they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things on their board in different stages. Like this one's brand new and we just start talking about it. This one is halfway ready. This one we're out pitching. So I've tried to take on that kind of like, you don't just pick a show and go, this is my baby, I'm going to sell this. No.
Yeah.
You get a big fat list. You start, you push each one of them as forward as they'll go. Then you go back and do it again. So try to do that. So I'm also still on the road with Wayne. He's very busy now, so we're on the road less than we used to be. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's just trying to, hopefully the SAG strike will end, which it hasn't at the time of this taping, so hopefully that can end. Then when Let's Make a Deal wraps in November, I can audition for TV and film, because that's fun to do. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a lot of exciting projects. And
it's fun.
Yeah, that advice of, have a list of 10 things versus like put all your eggs in one basket.
Never do that.
Falls through.
Plus, when you sell a show or two, then you can say, hey, you like these, how about this?
I've got all these things.
Exactly.
And if you become hot, they want everything. Like they'll even buy your turds. They will buy, from what I understand.
Yeah.
It's...
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
So everyone, they'll buy your turds. Just take that advice.
They'll buy your turds.
Literally.
I thought you said terms. You said turds?
Turds. They'll buy your turds.
Like poo-poo?
Yeah, like if you have like a really dumb show, like The Danube Tourist.
It's Danube.
I know, that's why, because this show I can't even pronounce
It's the Danube.
The Danube.
Well, no wonder it didn't work.
No, they're just interested in everything you have, which is why sometimes you'll see like a big showrunner that you're like, oh, Chuck Lorre or somebody, and like you watch their show, you're like, this is horrible. It's like, well, yeah, but just the fact that he wrote it, they buy it.
Right, right.
So
it's like every couple of years someone blows up and you see them everywhere.
Exactly.
And then you get sick of them because we don't want to see their turds all the time. Not all the time.
We'll buy your turds. 1-877 turds for tots.
Can we talk about
You
that
can
for a
buy
minute?
their turds today. Boop, boop.
So just to clarify, you're buying kids' turds
Yeah.
and he's reading kids' messages.
Well, he didn't know which kids were in need of turds. How are we going to coordinate?
Okay, listen, I'm gonna ignore that. There are 2 commercials. That one, This one, I'm not dissing the commercials. God love them for their good work. But where do they get the budget for that one?
Yep.
And the mesothelioma commercial.
Oh.
I was like on CNN, it's like every other commercial is that. I get the importance. That's a good thing. But they must have a lot of money.
The pharmaceutical companies do have a lot of money.
No.
Big pharma.
The cars for tots, I've heard, is a weird like scam thing.
Cards for kids.
No
Ks.
wonder. No wonder.
Were you participating with Cars for Tots?
I was.
Well, that's not anything.
I'm
no.
I
That's the real scam.
can't write that off.
Oh no. Oh no.
Mine actually gives working cars to children to drive.
No, that's not. You're supposed to do it.
That's
Let's move on.
Okay.
what? All right. Okay.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Squarespace.
Does your website need a refresh? Squarespace offers 3 different packages for each of your website needs. Just follow the link and type squarespace.com/IFTP for your 400% discount.
Wait, they pay you?
Yeah,
Yeah. You've done product announcements a lot.
I have.
What you just did there was a mix of what you do on what's it called, that little game show? Let's
Make a deal.
And improv.
Yes.
So you improvised that little bit that you did about Squarespace, but you did it through the filter of a professional product announcer on a national game show.
That is insightful of you, Matt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really,
Yeah.
it's not something I would have, no, that's really,
That's pretty good.
yeah. Where did, hotel management was
It's
your degree?
at Purdue
Okay.
University. Yeah.
Yep.
Must have had a minor or something. All right, Jonathan. My last question for you this evening, before we do some improv.
Okay.
Thinking about, let's say, the next calendar year. Are there any goals that you have for yourself as a performer, as an improviser, as an actor that you'd like to accomplish in the next year, or just some personal things you'd like to work on as a performer? You're like, next time I'm on stage, I want to focus on this.
Yes, and it's more of a general answer. I like video games. And the reason I like them, like World of Warcraft, which I play a lot, is because every time you play, you get a little bit better. So I don't care what it is I'm doing, as long as I feel like I am moving forward and increasing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's, if I sell something, or if I'm get an acting part, or if, I can renegotiate a contract here or there. It's just, I like to feel like I'm moving forward and not stagnating. And so as long as that happens, I am happy, and that's my goal. And if I feel like selling shows is not moving forward, then hopefully I'll be getting some roles so I can feel like, it's happening over here. Otherwise, I don't like not feeling like, I don't like feeling I'm at the same place that I was a year before. As long as one of the dimensions of the things I'm doing are moving forward.
Do you know one thing that I like a lot?
That's
of
great, Matt. Let's play some
I was going to
improv.
compliment
Back
you.
to Jonathan.
I was going to compliment you, man. But if you want to move on,
I'm joking.
Did you just find some time? One thing I respect about you, I respect a lot of things about you. But one of those things is that even in your career, which is just really, it's an amazing career, and you're excellent at what you do, you always see value. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but you always see value in saying yes to even small things, or a tiny little black box in East LA. Hey, Mangum, you want to come do an improv? You're the kind of person that says yes to those things. And I think there are a lot of people around who would be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure there are things you would say no to, but by and large, I find you very positive about things like that.
Thanks. I mean, I like being that way. I think, what's the worst or best that could happen?
Too.
Like, the best is I'll have a good time with
Yes.
funny people. Maybe I'll meet some new people.
Yes.
Maybe I'll meet a connection that turns into a thing of some. And what's the bad thing? Nothing
right.
really. I mean,
Right.
if you have a bad show, it's like, whatever. Then you still get to talk to your teammates like, boy, that one sure was a stinker.
Yes.
And then now you're having a good time
Yes.
talking about how crappy it was. So it's like
It's really great.
there's no way to lose.
Yeah, I love that about you.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That was something you can good that you can pull from it, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Even if it's a show that happened recently.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna bring that up again? Okay.
It's just a relevant example. All right. Well, we ready to do some improv?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's
All right,
do it.
amazing. So we've got 3 games we're going to be playing here tonight. This first game that we're going to be playing is called, I'm scrolling down in my notes. That's not the name of the game. The name of the game is Guided Tour.
What's it called?
Guided Tour.
Oh, okay.
So in this game, let's see. Matt, I'm going to have you playing a tour guide.
I'm a tour. Okay.
And Jonathan and I are guests on this tour. And I'm going to give us a suggestion of a very ordinary location that we're
right.
taking this tour. And, it's going to be your job just to guide us on this tour. And Jonathan and I will we'll explore our way through this wonderful, somewhat ordinary location that we're in today. Who knows?
The two of you are asking questions?
Oh,
or?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think if we're on this tour, that says a lot about us.
Great.
Says a lot about us. All right, so we are... We're at a local park.
Oh, a local park.
A local park. Ordinary place. And, I'll say lights up, scene will start, and I'll black us out when we're done.
Great.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, lights up.
Gentlemen, I'd like to, first of all, thank you for coming to the park tour today. It's an interesting park on the east side of Sacramento, and it is called Green Park.
I can't have the police find me.
I'm sorry?
I can't have the police find me.
Okay, sir, you signed up for this tour of Green Park, though, so we're going to be together outside in the neighborhood where a lot of people can see us.
Foliage? Is there foliage available?
It's mostly a baseball field, as you can see. There's not one tree around us, which is why Green Park is in. Many people say shouldn't be named that.
I'm gonna squat low. I'm gonna squat low the whole time.
Sir, get up. Get up.
I'm
Stand.
up.
Stand up.
If I go back, will you give this message to Timmy?
Yes. What is it?
That's where he can get the cars for tots if he wants to leave the state.
Okay. Can you just email that to me? Thank you so much. Because I do want to show you.
Hang on, let me pull out my desktop computer. Keep it in my backpack.
Oh, you brought your desktop on a park tour. Oh.
That's starting up.
Okay. Okay. And if we could just make this quick, sir.
Can I use a hotspot on your Android?
Yes. How did you know I had an Android?
You seem like the type.
Okay.
What's your email? Sent.
Park got. I didn't tell you what the.
Look at your phone.
How did you
Let's keep the police out of this.
keep the police out of this? Is exactly what you said to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen. You have gobbled up most of the tour time today.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It sounds like you have some very important things going on. Look, I'm a member of Parks Across America. My goal is to tour every local park in the nation.
We give you a stamp at the end of the tour.
You do. And I've got to say, this is the most interesting park I've been to because of you, sir.
What?
You just...
Well, excuse me. I have not even mentioned one fact about Green Park.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Breaking out of prison is not an easy thing to do.
Absolutely not.
This is
But they never think you'll go to a park, which is why I signed up for the tour.
It's genius.
Yeah, thank you.
You're a genius.
I feel like I am.
I'm sort of inspired by your work.
What's your email?
Officers, it's this gentleman right over here.
Oh, you betrayed me. You
Anyway,
son of
our
a-
next.
You
what are you gonna call me?
you son of a bitch.
I didn't get to get one fact. I got the fact that there was a baseball diamond in it.
You know what's
That was
interesting
it.
though is that like right away you kind of establish yourself as a straight person, which then tells me to fuck with you, right?
Yes.
If you had come out like, oh, I guess I have to give the tour today. My colostomy is leaking, and oh hello. Then I go, I just want a tour. Like I see you're crazy. I play straight, but because you were so straight, I played crazy.
Love it. Yeah, that was super fun. I liked how you joined alliances with the nut.
Oh, absolutely.
That was really fun
super
too.
fun.
Whatever was at this park was not as interesting as this.
That was so fun.
He knew you had an Android. That's...
You can tell. What a
You seem like
dick.
the kind of guy. That's really
Cheap
funny.
bastard.
You cheeky bastard.
I bet his screen's cracked too.
Yep.
Okay, the bit's over.
Yeah.
God.
Oh.
God. I've got family members who will hear this who love me. I think they do. I think they do.
I guess I did say blackout.
What?
All Right.
First of all, that's also the first time I've ever been accused of being a straight man.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you say penis, straight man?
What?
Packing penis?
Packing penis.
Second penis.
What's the next improv game?
This next game, it's oddly topical because you mentioned it during our interview. Probably similar to the Whose Line format you played, Indecisive Director, right? So I'm going to give you guys a setup, a suggestion. Let's say for a relationship, you're going to play that scene. I'll be your director. We're going to cut. We'll redo the scene in a different genre.
Oh, okay.
Simple as that. Classic short form.
Fun.
It's just one of the greats.
Sure.
One of the greats
Sure.
of short form. All right. And the game, your relationship is going to be doctor nurse. It's your relationship, doctor nurse.
Medical professionals.
Yes.
All right. And lights up.
I just want to tell you that your charting the last month since you joined the hospital team
Has been incredible.
It has been.
It's the finest charting
Yes.
you've ever seen.
Yes, Richard. And I just want to thank you for that because I think what you're doing is saving lives.
Dr. Farr, I think my work is done here.
No. You are on a 6-month contract to the University Hospital.
Once I've changed lives, I move on to the next hospital and the next, for the wandering nurse never rests.
None of this was given to me earlier. I was
Dr.
never told that you were
Farr.
a
Cut. Oh my gosh.
It's so weird to do it without standing and move, like just sitting is such a weird.
Yeah. I feel contained.
Yes,
I feel
very
what you're
contained.
doing, Michael, is containing our
Absolutely.
passion.
Restraints create the greatest creativity.
Yes,
It's like that's how a diamond is made.
it is.
Diamonds. No pressure, no diamonds.
Okay.
No pressure, no
Did
diamonds.
you just poo-poo a diamond?
I did. I went.
Turd. There are people in the business that will buy that turd from you if you sell
There
two
is.
of those shows.
There is.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, we're on set here.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry,
We're on
Mr.
set.
Director.
I love to have a familial relationship with my talent, but please, I've hired you to act on this set, and I got to tell you, you are not doing this script justice. This is a Scorsese film, so I want to see Scorsese-style acting in here. Whatever you got to do, spice up the dialogue, whatever that is. We are not selling out with these performances right now. So we'll take that back. Top of the scene, I want to see Scorsese. Give me Scorsese.
All right.
I've been looking through your charts. And I got to tell you, kid, the work you've been doing the last month in this hospital, looking at your charts, saving lives.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Huh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at your resume.
Fantastic.
I got you for 6 more months.
Cut. Oh my, that was a mistake. I'm so sorry. A PA walked by and whispered Scorsese in my ear, and I took the suggestion.
Blame
But
the PA.
Oh, no.
Blame the people.
I thought your only line was "go ahead," and I thought that's not gonna sell. That's not gonna sell. We've got to try something else. God, this script is such a shit show. But you know what? We're gonna find something from it. This is a very fluid set we're working on here.
Okay.
So I'm thinking. I think this is a rom-com. This is a late '90s. We know Meg Ryan. You've Got Mail. Tom Hanks. Some classic stuff. That's what I want to see. There's a tension here.
Right.
I want to see that. I want to see that today on set. I think this is the direction for us. All right, we're rolling. We're rolling. Speed. Action.
So, looking through your chart here.
I'm pregnant.
That is beautiful. Are you serious?
You're the mother.
I don't know how that works, and I
Baby,
don't care.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Love
matter.
doesn't need rules.
Don't cut this out yet because I'm not done. It was too aggressive at the end.
It was, yeah.
It was too aggressive.
Yeah.
I was really channeling a young Julia Roberts.
That's who I saw as
I
well.
can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
I was an old Lou Rawls.
Whatever happened to Lou?
I don't even know who that is. It's a
You
random
don't?
name. Is it a singer, maybe?
Yeah, Lou Rawls
Okay.
is a singer.
Yeah.
I believed you. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was going to say the old is redundant.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So for our last game that we're going to be playing, this game is called Boys Night.
Oh!
Boys Boys Night. Say it with me.
Boys Night.
And here on Boys Night, one of us, of the three of us, is going to be celebrating something. And we're having a Boys Night to celebrate that thing. And we'll see what shenanigans.
Seems what?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Ensue.
Ah. Okay.
All right. Lights up.
Having you two in my garage means one thing. It's a celebration.
Tonight, come on.
Come on.
I never thought
Celebrate.
after that kind of shaking that you would still be standing.
Well, listen, what? Listen up, Reginald. You gave me a good shaking, and I'll tell you what. That's the best yoga class I've ever been to.
Hot yoga, earthquake class.
Earthquake class.
Earthquake class.
And you know what? You also signed up for the introductory offer, and you loved it too.
I did as well. And I was so proud of you for being pointed out as a teacher's example. They said, look at Jethro over there. And that downward
come
dog.
on.
That dog was barking.
That dog was barking. I am sorry that I landed on top of you so many times.
You know what? After the second or third time, I thought maybe it was on purpose. Was it? I'm signing up for the 2 p.m. class.
I already signed you up for the 2 p.m. class. Well, man loves a man.
Good time to black out.
Blackouts.
I think that's the most we've ever touched. Although we touch each other a lot in shows.
We touch a lot of shows.
Nobody cares, right?
No.
Everybody's all over each other.
Usually,
That was- there are some people get weird about it.
You shook hands or when you arrived. So there you go. That was the second most you've touched.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, give a little hug. I like that we ended with a song.
Yeah. You can always end the scene with a song.
Is that rule number 6?
Yep.
Rule number
Always
6.
plays. Always plays.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, excellent improv. Thank you so much.
I've done improv for smaller audiences.
Can I jump in? I know we're on time here, but
Yes.
I have to know, what is like, you'd mentioned earlier, other than
He's
our
such
fiasco.
a control freak. Like, he won't even let you do your job. I'm sorry,
Jonathan,
go ahead.
That is
No,
not true.
HR's going to hear about this. Yeah.
That's not true. Listen to me when I'm talking. Tell us a show other than our thing, but tell us a show like Nightmare.
A show nightmare. Like an improv show nightmare?
Yeah, maybe like an audience member, because sometimes they can get, maybe they're a little drunk. maybe they're a little-
Audience members, I mean, I remember a show that was crazy where it was a comedy sports show. Before I started doing SAC theater, they booked us for this thing, and it was us here in front of a long pool. So the
Swimming pool.
So yeah, swimming pool.
Okay.
At a resort, and we're standing on the sidewalk, like with our feet up to where you would jump in the pool. Right? Pool's closed. The pool goes for like 8 feet, and then on the other side of the pool is the audience. Right?
Oh, perfect.
But they're not sitting down because on the other side of the pool is a long table that spans the pool with all of the food, the buffet food on it. Behind that table, there are circular tables with people eating. But there's always a line of people getting food onto their plate.
Yeah.
So at any time, only 8 people can see us because they're blocking us.
Phenomenal.
So, and we're not microphones, so we're screaming
come
outside in Florida in the 100-degree heat.
Yeah.
For basically, it's just a rotating group of 8 who are never around long enough to hear us start or finish a bit.
Yes.
So we're basically ignored.
Yes.
I think we each got $50, and they were like,
Hardest
8 of us.
Hardest we ever had to do for $50.
So that's my one of the nightmare
That's a pretty good
shows.
That's a pretty good
And what's the venue? I'd love to book.
It was just right. It was a. Have you heard of the Quality Inn? Have you heard of these? Yes.
They don't do turn down. They might. I don't want the quality people to get upset with them. They might do turn down. That's a rough deal.
Yeah.
That's a rough
Yeah,
deal.
that's a rough one. What's your worst? Other than
Other than the show that shall not be mentioned. Well, that was probably it.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Oh.
Yeah. And you happened to be there with me. Yeah, I was just in a room that wasn't conducive to any, not just improv, but any sort of performance of any kind. And it was loud and bouncy, and the people weren't there for entertainment, and that wasn't the purpose, that nobody knew what was going on. And
you're leaving out so many things. In the center of this very bouncy marble floored room was a circular table with a diameter of maybe 12 feet,
Yes.
which took up at least 20% of the room.
Yes.
Covered in food and a tower.
Food.
And so we're just kind of standing against the wall,
Yeah.
trying to do the show through the food
Right.
to people that just wanted to drink.
And they were.
And they were drinking,
Yeah.
and it was so loud that the echo was so loud in the room.
Exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Oh. And then I went over to the person who brought us in, and I said, I don't think this is going to work. She was very quick to say, I don't need it.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, but for those two examples, a million great shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's be more realistic. 40.
Maybe about 40.
Yeah, it's about 40
45
good
at the
shows
tops.
to one bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Michael, I'm done.
That ratio sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 to 1. That's a good. Yeah.
40 to 1. 40 to 1.
All right. So, Jonathan,
Yes.
before we conclude tonight's episode, are there any final words you want to leave us with? Words of wisdom. Could be if there's something you want to plug, something you want to share with
There's
our
something I want to.
audience.
What?
Plug.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Not even a person. Is there something you want to fuck? Like, I don't know. Yes, I am on all the social medias. Instagram is at Jonathan Mangum. There's so many other ones. I think I'm on at Jonathan Mangum on Threads. I think I'm at Mangum1 on Twitter, which is X. On Facebook, I'm the Mangum.
TikTok?
Yeah, at Mangum1, I think, on TikTok.
All right.
So yeah, follow me there, and don't go re-listen to that genre scene we did. Just that's a one-time only. So don't replay that.
Yeah. Maybe we can edit that. That might be.
Oh, I'm not touching it.
Okay. Yeah, very good. You asking me if I want to plug anything?
No.
Okay.
Oh, and my kids' band, We're Whim, at
Whim.
WEREWHIM, and they're on Spotify too. So check them out.
Amazing. All right. And I will say your social media game on point, very active. You got stories. You
Really?
got
I don't
reels.
feel like I am, but thank you.
Yeah.
I know people that are really, really good at it, and I don't feel like I am, but thank you.
It's a tricky game.
Thank
but
you.
I think consistency is the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Ton of fun. Well, thank you so much to Matthew Moore and Jonathan Mangum for coming on Improv for the Podcast. As always, you can find Improv for the Podcast anywhere you find podcasts. And if you want to see Matt's and Jonathan's lovely faces, come check us out on YouTube at Improv for the Podcast. As always, we'll be back next week with another episode. But until then. Improv for the Podcast was created by Matt Moore and Michael Lee Evans. Edited and produced by Michael Lee Evans. And finally, presented by Improv for the People. Interested in more IFTP? You can visit us at improvforthepeople.com or on our socials, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Remember, new episodes are released weekly. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.